Hey, this is a Stitch in Time. Welcome to our live show. We are going to get started here in just a minute. I know a bunch of you are waiting for this, so let's get rolling here. Okay, it is good to be back again. We've been doing a lot of things over the summer. I've missed these times with you, though we haven't been just sitting around on our hands doing nothing. It has been a crazy summer. I don't know about you, but I was just realizing this morning that today is almost the equinox. There is 12 hours and no, it's exactly this, almost exactly the same amount of daylight as nighttime today, and it starts getting darker tomorrow. I don't know, I'm not quite ready for that, but we're going to get started with it, and that's part of living in Minnesota. We get really long days in the summer, really short ones in the winter, and I don't know if I'd want to live anywhere else. You've seen what's going on. Okay, we're going to get started today. I got some really nice door prizes. We're going to do one in just a few minutes. This is going to be a little bit more of an informative show, not necessarily more of a class type thing, but I kind of want to let you know what's happening here at our store and to bring you up to speed with what we have going here. So right now, I want to talk to you about the class we have coming up next week. It is the cork coasters class. I'm going to show you a little bit of that, what that looks like here. So we have these little cork coasters that I did, and I made some kits up over on our website that are able to be purchased over at sobemidji.com, and you look at the classes over there. But that's where you're going to be able to do that. The class is next Tuesday, September 29th at 2 p.m. And it's kind of a fun thing we can do with our scan and cut. You can do with other machines if you know how to run them, but this is kind of going to be a class to learn that. So what do you get for it? Because I think the class is like $20 if you want to buy the kit. Otherwise, you can watch for free. If you sign up for free, you're going to get some printed instructions that I will email to you the morning of the event. I already created a video on our YouTube channel showing you how I created the design so that you can go and create your own design so you can be all ready. But I wanted to show you, what do you get in that kit? Well, I got the cork, and I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, there you can see this. It's got gold glitter flake in it, so it's really, really, really nice. You got two pieces of that. You have some fusible web that's going to be in there, and you're also going to get an entire sheet of the heat transfer film, the vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, excuse me. And that's going to be in whatever color you want. I think I have 5 or 6 colors there you can choose from. So you get the whole thing for $20, and then we will ship it. Now, we've been having problems with shipping with USPS. Now, I did get some tips from other people who are shipping with USPS, and instead of mailing things first class postage, I'm finding that if I include tracking, like with priority or things like that, my rates of success go up. But the last project we did, I sent out 12 packets, and 4 of them disappeared. One of them came back after 6 weeks, but the other 3 still have never showed up. And so I had to refund money, and I just decided, I don't want to spend $20 worth of cork products and have them just disappear. So I decided I was only going to use FedEx, UPS, or FedEx or UPS or Speedy if you're within the Speedy zone that where they deliver it. But if you want me to mail it parcel post, or you want me to priority mail, choose free shipping on the checkout and then call us, and we will figure out what the exact postage will be for you, and we'll charge that to you separately, because I can't go in and change that on the website now anymore this late in the game. UPS will still get there, I think, if we ship it out today. So if you order yet today, we should still be able to get it to most of the US by Tuesday. So if you want to check that out, that'd be great. All right, door prizes. Where do we go here? First door prize is going to be this one. So we have, back in the end of June, we did a live show with Floriani. And Floriani is a company that makes wonderful stabilizers. They make wonderful thread. It's really shiny. It's got the brightest sheen of any polyester thread that I have found. There's rayon has more of a sheen to it, but the polyester thread is much more durable and long lasting than the rayon. And so they have that. They also sell some wonderful software. And if you've ever looked at kind of upping your game in digitizing software, check with them or come in and talk to me, and I can give you a demonstration about why I think their software fits a niche that a lot of the other manufacturers' software doesn't. So it's got some really good stuff there. But when we had that event, 3 people were going to win a prize of over $500 in value. And so they took that from the number of people that were registered, and they just drew out a name. And at the very beginning, when I was setting it all up, I needed to do a test name. And so I put in my wife's email address because she was going to be watching, and I registered for it. And wouldn't you know it, her name got drawn. And I'm quickly typing saying, no, draw another name. And they didn't. They just went right on. And so my wife finally got this packet in the mail the other day. And I said, we can't keep that. So we're going to give that away today. And one of the things is their stabilizers. And there's a number of things that are in here that are really good. This is the Wet and Gone stabilizer. This is the stuff that will disappear when you rinse it underwater. It's great for making lace or anytime you need stabilizer, but need to be able to wash it away. And then there's also a Stitch and Wash tearaway stabilizer. This is great for behind tea towels. We're going to be talking about tea towels here in a little bit, so hang tight. But it's great because you can tear most of it all away, and then by the time you wash it the second time, everything else the fibers have all worked their way out, and it's great for towels and things that are stable in and of themselves. It includes the Stitch and Wash fusible. So it's basically like these sheets, but they're fusible so that you can stiffen that up a little bit. You also have Wet and Gone Tacky, some 10 sheets of that. And that is, if Wet and Gone Tacky is basically adhesive that you can put on the back of it. You know what? I'm getting a lot of comments. I'm not looking at that. Welcome to y'all. Got a bunch of people on here. Very good. So we got Wet and Gone Tacky, and that is going to be in there. And then there's Template Tearaway. And this is a great way of getting perfect placement for your designs. And there's also instructions on the back. And there's actually instructions in all of these if you're not familiar with how to use them. And then lastly, Embroidery Perfection Tape. Now, I know there's a lot of different tapes you can use out there. And there's some of the ones that work just about as good as this one. But if you're using painter's tape and it's not holding your material very well, especially batting, it doesn't want to stick to batting very well, then I want to encourage you to try a roll of this stuff because it's way better than painter's tape. And if you stitch through it, it will tear off nicely, but it won't gum up your needle. You know, there's another, is it Neospore tape or is it's a medical tape that I like to use at times, but if you accidentally sew through that stuff, it can heat up your needle, or your needle can heat it up in there and get that adhesive, and then you start shredding the threads and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to give away all of these stabilizers as our first door prize. How about that? Now I have 4 quizzes for you today, and I have my daughter who's going to be helping to monitor these things, and we will try and put the names of the winners out at the end. Because we have people watching us on YouTube and we have people watching on Facebook. So, and all the comments come into one place on here where we can kind of see them. So hopefully this will keep up with all of you guys being ready to type. All right. So I'm going to switch over to this, and I want you to tell me what is the name of this quilt pattern. Okay. This is a quilt pattern, and I'm not going to tell you this. This is what I need you to tell me. This is a pattern that is AccuQuilt is coming out with this pattern on a board so that you can cut out this entire quilt block all in one piece, all in one board. This is what it looks like when it's done completely. So what is the name of this pattern? Now, while we're doing this, I'm going to let you be answering that. And so there we go. Snail's Trail. That's exactly right. Snail's Trail is the pattern. This is a very simple pattern that it does not require you to piece on the curve, and it's very, very easily done. It's kind of fun. You sew it in a circle, and it's a lot of fun to make. And now they have the dies for the AccuQuilt that will enable you to cut that entire block at one time. Okay, Lorraine, did you write that down? Got that first one on there? All right, so I'm going to set that aside. Congratulations to the name. I'll have her do that because sometimes y'all respond so quickly that it can scooch up out of there, and I want to make sure that she gets the first one. Okay, my assistant comes and showed me it's Terry Jor. Terry Jor is the winner. Congratulations. It is Snail Trail for you. Very good. Okay. Next thing. Rummage Sale. So it has been over a year since we moved into our new store. Can you believe that? I was just looking at the other day, and it still feels like, because we still have boxes we have not unpacked. I don't know. I realize that says something about me and my organization. Joan, you don't have to say anything because she sees my boxes in my office that are still sitting there from a year ago waiting to be unpacked. I'm too busy helping all of you figure out what you're doing with your projects. So the idea here is that we are getting down to the place where we want to clear out some of these boxes. And in doing so, we found a lot of miscellaneous inventory that we either do not have room for out front, or it is stuff that we have decided not to carry. Long term, we have a bunch of Anita Good designs left over. We have some other notions that are really good. And so October 7th through the 10th, let me just put that up here. We are going to have a rummage sale. And that is where we're going to have a lot of those things out there. We also have had a lot of machines traded in the last 6 months. With people doing more sewing, they're stuck at home. They'd rather have a machine that's more fun, easier to use. And so they've traded in some of those machines. Some of those are older machines. We have an old Minnesota machine that actually has a shuttle. That's probably the oldest one. And the whole way up to, we have a number of nice sewing and embroidery machines. I think we have 2 or 3 Brother Quattro machines. And these are all going to be at clearance prices because I don't want to store them around here. I think we have like 18, maybe 12 to 18 machines that we're sitting on right now. And my space over here that I put the machines on isn't big enough to hold all of those. So stop in and check, or if you want to call, if you don't want to stop in physically, you can. I can arrange a time and I can go around with my phone and show them to you, talk to you about them, what they will do, and give you a little demo virtually for those who don't feel comfortable coming in. So keep that in mind. October 7th through the 10th. Now, the reason it's a little odd days, I get that. And the reason being is that just before that, I need to go into Pennsylvania for my grandfather's memorial. My grandfather passed away back in March in the middle of the COVID lockdown. And we were not able to have any type of a service whatsoever. My dad was not even able to go to his father's graveside service. So finally, Pennsylvania has loosened up enough that we're able to have a small service or small kind of gathering for our family. And so that's why it's pushing me back. If I go any later, it's going to get into my handy quilter workshop. If I try and do any sooner, then I'm going to be gone. And so I'd like to be here to help the guys so that no one gets so swamped. So bear with me. My hours, I'm going to be gone a lot the next 2 weeks. But bear with me. We're still around. I'm still going to be here. It's just that we got a few things we got to take care of on the family-wise first. Okay, let's move on to something happier. I'm going to hide that. Get out of here. All right. So one of my customers contacted me here about a week ago, and she says, Jay, do you have good quality dish towels? And she says, I'm tired of those ones that you buy that are really nice, look nice, but when you try and wipe dishes with them, they just smear the water around and they don't wick it up at all. And she said, there's a company down in Minneapolis that I really like working with called Berg Bags. But they have a minimum of like 250 towels that you have to buy. And I said, well, I've had a number of people that have been looking for quality towels. And so I said, well, I'll order. I said, are they really good? And she goes, oh yeah, they're really good. So I ordered a bunch in, and I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I'll switch over here so maybe you can see this. I don't know what else what you can see on here. I'm going to put one layer down on top of this black, and you can see it has a little bit of show through, but it's a lot thicker than some of those ones that are out there. It's very soft, and it absorbs water very well. Now, granted, a lot of times when we're using these, we like to decorate them, and then we never want to use them for anything. Well, you know what? I'm not sure I would wipe up the red beet juice that gets spilled on the floor with one of these, because it would never look the same. But drying dishes, especially when you have the whole family over for Thanksgiving stuff, that's just a rite of passage. You just got to do that. And these are really nice. They come in, I don't know if there's, open this up here. They come in 2 sizes that I stock. There's a 30 by 30, and then there is a 24 by 38. The 24 by 38 is designed more for hanging over your oven door, or for draping over towel rods or things like that, because they just hang nicer like that. But they work really well for doing embroidery and doing the heat press with those heat transfer vinyl. You can cut out some really neat designs, and they're very easily done. You can download tons of them off the internet. I was just looking. I saw some company the other day. It said kind of said ornery Christmas sayings. You know, I'm not going to go there, but it was it was a lot of like bah humbug and things like that, but all done up really nicely. And so you can just simply pull that into your scan and cut it out, iron it on, done, and you have these really nice things. You can do the same thing with the days of the week, some of the sunbonnet Sues. You can do some fun things with that to make it work, even if you don't have an embroidery machine. So these are really nice towels, and they're not that expensive. At least not in my mind, they're not that expensive. If you buy them one at a time, they're $2.50 or $2.49 each. If you buy 10 at a time, they're $2.25 each. And if you buy 25 at a time, they are $1.99 each. So someone's asking a question: how well do they wash, or do they shrink? You know, that's a good question, as I have not done this, and so done this too much. I'm fairly certain there would be some shrinkage, that you may want to pre-wash them. They do come feeling like they don't have much of a starch in them, but I don't know that. And so, I mean, if you're going to wash them in hot water, I would definitely wash them first before you would do that. Terry asked, are there different colors? No, they're 100% cotton, and so they strictly come in white at this point. Now, if you want to do some custom dyeing and make them your own colors, you certainly can, but I don't believe that they will be that they come in colors at all. That's the only way we will be stocking them. Someone said that 250 will sure go fast. Yeah, depending on if you're making sets of them, and they will, if you're making a set of like the days of the week or the months of the year, that goes through them pretty quickly. And especially if you sell them as a bundle to your customers for crafts, that would be something to consider there as well. Joan says she's carried them for 3 years and using many baking in my home. I pre-wash all mine, but they shrink very little. Thank you, Joan. Appreciate that. There's someone that she does a lot of these things for custom embroidery for other people, and so she would know that. So I hope that works. Vicky says pre-wash, so that helps there. Oh, there you go. Well, that's that. Joan's got a lot of them, so she goes through a lot of them. Okay, time for another door prize. You ready for a door prize? Should we do another one? You know, I don't know how long this is going to take today, but let's have a little fun. Okay, so we talked about Floriani threads. And the polyester thread that we stock, we sell it for $4.99 a spool. If you buy more than 3, you get 10% off. If you buy them in a set, like one of the big sets, you get them for $1 off. And so one of these spools holds 1,100 yards. And people ask, well, how much embroidery can you do with that? Well, I did a big banner one time with a stitch in time, and all the letters were 8 inches tall, and they were all filled in with solid stitching. And there was 178,000 stitches in that design, and I didn't quite use one. Okay, so that gives you an idea. They go a long way. And so what we have is we have 2 spools of that, and I'm going to switch over here just so you can see it. And then there's also this other one. This is micro thread, and if you look at it, this is a 75 weight thread. Can you see that on there? Maybe not. It's a 2-strand 75 weight thread. It's from Floriani. That we have both a kind of a cream color and a yellow color. And micro thread has been around for a little while now. But if you have a multi-needle, you have something that does very precise stitching. Some of our home machines with those big gargantuan hoops like we have on our luminaire, when you have that big hoop on there, there can be enough of a play that it's hard to get precise stitching. This is why a lot of people still use a multi-needle or like a Persona that have a different hoop system, because they can get very precise. And when you do micro lettering, and this is lettering that's down less than a 1/4 inch tall, some of it is down close to 1/8 of an inch tall. With the micro lettering, when you're using that, it will actually come out more legible because it's not so bulky. You can still have the same design, but it doesn't have so much bulk in there. And so it's a great way to do this. Back to the bags here real quick. Sandra had a quick question. Do they need to be pressed? They come pressed where they're at now, but they are folded into quarters. And so if you want to take those out, you would have to press them. But other than that, no, they're not all wrinkled up and just wadded up. So that's something you can work there. She also wonders, we carry the 12 weight Floriani embroidery thread. We do not at this point yet. We are looking into some of those things, but we don't have that. So anyways, we have these 4 spools of thread, and I am going to give them away to the next person. This is another quilt block challenge. This one's a little harder. It's not quite as, at least it was harder for me. It's not quite as familiar. So this block is one that was on AccuQuilt's special die last year. You had to come to one of the events to get it. It is this one. And this is a block that's made. You have these, it's made into 4 squares. And you're sewing the little diamond shapes on all of them. It's fun sewing on the bias. You learn to do it very well. And here is what the quilt looks like, you know, when you put a whole bunch of those blocks together. Can anyone tell me what is the name of this quilt block? What is the name of this quilt block? We got one close. So yeah, that's what we got going there. Oh, by the way, while you're all answering and trying to Google this and trying to figure this out, I want to talk a little bit about our YouTube channel. So one of the things that I struggle with is, how do I make videos that fill the need that you have for information, but at the same point, give me a little something for my time that I can earn some money through it? Well, YouTube allows you to earn the money that they would earn from the videos if you reach a certain threshold. So when you go to YouTube and you watch a video and you see those little ads at the beginning, that is I haven't seen it yet so far. I haven't seen the name so far. That little ad at the beginning earns them revenue. And that's just their money that they get to keep. But if you get up to 1,000 subscribers, and at least 4,000 hours of view time in the last 12 months, then I get to collect some of that money. And so it provides some income for me. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep some of these videos on YouTube and trying to get people to watch them. And I am so close. I have like almost 4,000 subscribers. So that's no problem. But I'm up to within about 450 hours of watch time, which hopefully that should happen within the next month. And then I can start. There we go. I think we got it. And then I can start to earn some of the money from those YouTube videos. So keep that in mind. If you see a post video and you don't mind watching it to the end, give it a like. That all helps me earn a little money from the YouTube channel. So I think we have our winner. It is the Arkansas Traveler. That is what this block is called. It's close to the Kansas Star, but it's not quite. It's the Arkansas Traveler is what this is called. So we're going to set that aside and going to keep moving on. All right. Let's go back to here. Next thing. Yes, it is Linda Shelton. Linda Shelton, you get to win that those threads. So we'll get those here for you. By the way, if you're from quite a ways away from here and you would like to have these door prizes, for these things today, because they didn't cost me anything, because it was the giveaway that was supposed to go back in June, I will mail these out at no charge. But in other times, if you do win a prize and you're from somewhere around the country, if you'd like to have it mailed to you or something like that, let us know and we will work with you on that. Okay, so we're getting ready to start Open Sew again. This last 6 months has been kind of crazy, and we've all had to adapt. And I want to say I am proud of the way our sewing community has pulled together. You gals have learned to do things that you may have never done before. You've learned to take classes online. You've learned to figure out cameras and sound and stuff. I just did a demonstration for a quilt guild, a ways away from here. They asked if I could give a presentation on the AccuQuilt system for them. Normally, I would have driven there and done it for them, but I did it virtually online. And I was watching a lot of gals who had never done a webcam and tried to figure out Zoom, tried to figure out all this other stuff. And some of them were kind of like, I don't get this. But some of them were saying, hey, and they kept working at it. Oh, now they got it and they figured it out. I'm proud of you all for doing these things and try. Keep up the good work. I don't know how long this is going to last, but let's stick to it, help each other out, and make the best of it. But in the meantime, I also know that there's times in the winter when we need to get out a little bit. And so we're going to be starting up our Open Sew time. And that's going to start October 2nd is a Friday. It's next Friday, a week from tomorrow. And what we do is we ask you, I'll be putting the registration up on our website again here. If you go to the classes section, there'll be one there that's for Open Sew. And that will be, I'm going to ask you to register if you can. There's no cost. But by registering, it gives us an idea how many people come. And that way we can put kind of a limit on it so we can make sure that everyone has their own table. We don't have to have too many people, scrunched together for social distancing. And we can also make sure that we have enough of space here in our facilities, get cords set up and stuff like that. We currently have there is a quilt guild that is using it Monday afternoons for about 2 hours. And they come in just to work at whatever little hand projects they're working on. It's their visitation time. They said it has done so much for their sanity to be able to sit, even though they're 12, 6, 8, 10 feet apart, just to sit and be able to visit with real people in real time. And that's kind of what I want to open this up for. Obviously, we're still going to be around here when you come in for Open Sew Day and we're not busy. You can ask us. We'll come back and help you figure out something with your machine, with your software, with your scan and cut, or anything else like that. Our time is here to help you during those Open Sew days. But it's also a day of just coming together and spending time with people doing the things you like. So if you're interested in that, go to sewbemidji.com tomorrow, either later today or tomorrow, and I'll have the registration up there. It's just going to ask your name, address, and phone number just for registering so we can know who's coming and who's not. Okay? If you want to bring something for show and tell, everyone loves show and tell. And some of you don't feel like you can come in for show and tell, so that's fine, or you don't want to come into the class, that's fine. What we're going to do is try and take pictures of the projects that you bring in. Now, some people, you know who you are, that when they take pictures of something, they take it like this. And they don't really want anyone to see them. And so if you don't want to be seen in the picture, that's fine. But I want to be able to put some of these pictures out there because we learn from each other. And you might see something and go, wow, how'd they do that? Who did that? Could I talk to them? And sometimes friendships are made that way. I watch it happen here in my classroom all the time. Two people who've never known each other sit down over a project and look at a project and go, wow, I never thought of that. And they form this friendship that lasts a long time. And I like seeing that happen. So we might be taking some pictures. If you say, I don't want my face online, well, we won't put your face online. I don't want to have my face online either, because look what it does. But, hey, it's all part of it, and we get to going. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is our craft fair. Last year, we did this one time in December where we had we divided this back room. Those of you who have not been in this room, it has about 2,000 square feet. I don't know if I can turn this around the other way. And let me just see once if I can. And I'm just going to turn this so that you can see, just to get a little bit of idea. It's a little messy in here. There you can kind of see my classroom here. But this is how big my space is. Currently, we're holding church here on Sundays so we can, for the COVID and everything else. But this is what my space is like. It's 2,000 square feet, and we have a lot of space that we can spread people around and give everyone some good time, good space, and good exposure. So we're going to be having 2 dates. We're going to be doing this November 7th. It's going to be from 9 to 3, and December 5th. We're going to have 8 by 10 booths. They're going to be 8 feet deep. 6 to 8 feet deep, depending on where we're placed in here, by 8 to 10 feet wide. So it's going to be somewhere in there. And we're going to give you at least an 8-foot wide space. And it's going to be one table provided. We have 8-foot tables. They're 30 inches deep, so you have a lot of space there. We'll provide one table. Cost is going to be $20. To register, I need to put this on here. To register, I want you to send an email to me at j@astitch.biz. If you're interested in doing this, send me an email and state what you have to sell and how many spaces you may need. We're going to give first priority to things that you've made, things that are homemade, rather than essential oils, as nice as they are, or some multi-level marketing product or something like that. Some of us like that, some of us don't. And, but I'd rather have this be more about the things that are being created. Last year we had some yummy caramel rolls and honey and jam, and then some people had some woodworking progress. And so we had a lot of fun stuff in there like that. But there was quilts, there was blankets, there was homemade soaps, there was home embroidery. A few people, there wasn't that many people that had embroidery, surprisingly. Some homemade baskets. There was a lot of fun stuff last year. So November, the dates again are November 7th and December 5th. And so if you're interested in either or both of those days, send me an email and we will get you registered. Okay, let's turn these things off here so that we can move on. All right. Next door prize. You ready for another door prize? Okay. So Floriani also makes metallic thread. We were talking about the polyester thread. They also make metallic thread. The metallic thread that they have has a really nice shine to it. I gotta rearrange my camera. Sorry. And it's a little hard to see. This is the silver, but some metallic doesn't have quite as much shine as others. And this stuff really has a nice shine to it. I have used this in my embroidery on my 10 needles and things like that. The only thing I've had to do, I've actually done it with the regular needle, and all I've had to do is slow the machine down. Now, that being said, if you have 3 layers of thread already embroidered down and this is your accent color, you may have a little bit of problem with this. You'll have a problem with just about any metallic thread you use. But Floriani metallic thread is really good for giving that nice, shiny metallic finish. We got 2 colors. We have a gold copper color, That's like, it's a little hard to see like this. It's great for like ornaments, and then you have a wonderful silver for snow or that glitter accent. So we're going to do this as a giveaway again. So the first one, now we're going to switch it up a little bit. Instead of being a quilt block, I want you to tell me what kind of machine this is. This one's going to be easy. You're all going to get this right away, but I don't want just the brand. I want the model. Okay? What was the name that everyone refers to it as? Okay? Here you go. What is the name of this machine? This is a very, very popular machine. I'll tell you right up front. It's a Singer that was very popular for traveling around. They all came in a little black case, and you see them at auctions. They go from anywhere from $200 to $400. And Becky Meyer, it looks like you got it. It is a Singer Featherweight. So that's exactly right. A Singer Featherweight. Those are still sought after today for people for travel machines. I'm going to suggest to you that they're really great machines to have around just for nostalgia or just fun. They make a nice straight stitch. But if you're looking for something to take with you to retreat, there are machines that weigh the same amount that they do, but they do so much more. They stop with the needle up and down position. Some of them cut your thread. They have different stitches. They have a perfect 1/4-inch seam. So there are a lot of other options. And so sometimes when I see people willing to spend $500-$600 for a featherweight just to have a featherweight, I say, so they can go to class, I say, well, there are other options. So that's where we're going to be. Okay, very good. Next thing. We're finally starting to get machines back in stock. Let's get back over here. We're finally starting to get machines back in stock because there has been a huge shortage, as you know, back in with everyone making masks back at the beginning part of the year. There is not a sewing machine hardly to be found in a lot of the department stores, the big box stores. I am only now receiving machines that I ordered back in May. But we're starting to get them in again, and we're getting caught up. So we actually have a little bit of inventory in place, and this is one of the ones that we're really waiting for. It's a little brother, a brother NS80. It is super easy to use, and I love this because it still has the solid needle threader that threads the needle perfectly for you every single time. If you want to change a stitch, you just simply turn the dial until it comes to the stitch you want to do. Put your material under it and sew. For people who want just a simple, basic machine that does what they want it to do, this is a nice thing. I can't give the prices out over the online because this is a dealer-only product, but it is very affordable, and we will have these in stock again, hopefully for the rest of the holiday season. But it's a great one. This is the one that we look at giving to all of our young students when they start sewing. This year we did not do it because we didn't have enough of young people, and especially with the mask mandate that came in place just a week before our kids' summer sewing camp. We did not have a kids' summer sewing camp. But this is the machine we give them when they get started. Why? Because I want them to learn to love to sew. And I want it to be easy to use. I want it to be dependable, and I want them to have fun. So keep that in mind with your holiday and your Christmas shopping. If you know someone who wants to get started, or they need to replace one of those cheaper ones that was bought at the big box stores, this has a metal frame to it. It's not the plastic frames like framed ones like they have in the big box stores. This one has a solid metal frame in it. Okay. Last item before we do our last door prize is I want to talk about the use of this room. So I showed you what this looked like in here. We are opening this room up for rental, but also for people to use as well. Like I told you about the Quilt Guild, they call themselves the Rusty Needles. I don't know why they call themselves that, but I thought it's kind of a unique name. And they use it here. They come in, that's their little place they can congregate. They've been doing it in their garage all summer. It's a little cold to do that in an unheated garage in the winter. And so they found this space. A lot of the homes, nursing homes that have allowed people to use their community rooms are no longer allowing them to do so. And so that's where we're saying, if you need a place to meet or get together, this is something we're willing to do. The cost is $50 per day to use the entire room, but that doesn't mean we're going to set it up for you the way you want it. We'll have all the tables here and all the chairs here, and you can do what you want, and then we'll clean up when you leave. Or if you want us to set up all the tables and chairs and put the cords around, you want to use the video projector or the sound system in here, that's going to be $150 a day. But our goal is to promote the love of sewing in our communities. So if you have a sewing group and you want to come in here and use this for your own little private retreat or something like that, we're offering that free of charge. But that won't include setup. But if you want to come and have a place to meet, we're offering that free of charge at least through the end of the year, and we'll see what happens beyond that. So keep that in mind. If there's something that you want to do, you want to get a bunch of your friends together and say, hey, I'm tired of being at home. Jay's got that room up there. Let's see if he's open. And they call up and, yep, it's open this weekend. Oh, let's go up there Friday and Saturday. And so they come up here and they spend a few days. We have ironing boards, we have cutting stations, we have a coffee maker that makes wonderful coffee in the back. We have 2 bathrooms that you'll have to share with us. But it's a great place to come and hang out. By the way, I almost forgot. We have a change of hours. We used to be open shorter hours on Saturday, but because of COVID and some of my employees needing to shift their schedule around to make things happen for school and stuff, we're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. So in the wintertime, it gives you a few more hours of daylight in there to get some of your shopping and driving done without having to kind of trying to cram that in the morning for those of you who are coming from a long ways away. So that is what I have today. Now we have our last door prize. So let's take a look at it. What is it? All right. I'm going to show you what the prize is, and then we're going to go from there. All right. So I said this was Walter Floriani's thing, and what he did is they created a book. Walter Floriani, that is currently today, the Walter Floriani that people know, is the grandson of the original Walter Floriani that started this. And back when they made lace by hand, and they had punch holes. They had machines that automated, but they did punch cards so the machine would know how to do all the stitches. And he would go through and manually punch all those things by hand. He has an amazing story, and he has created this book that tells the story. And then they have a lot of their original lacework designs. These are old lace designs. However, they've been completely digitized for our machines today. Okay? And it's this you got this book. You have the CD with 120 designs on it and all the different formats that are out there. I believe, yes, over 120 designs. And you have the instructions on how to do it. So you all stayed till the end here. Now you get to be in the drawing for this. Okay? That is what we're going to give away as our final grand prize, as a door prize. So the last machine I said was pretty easy, right? Well, yeah, everyone got that one. I think everyone knew what it was. This one is a little bit harder. This is a Swiss-made machine, and I will even tell you it is made by, well, I'll flip it over. The first person who can tell me the name of this will win this prize, okay? This is the machine. Whoop, get it back up here. I left it on here. It is made by Elna, and it was made in such a way that all of these doors would fold up, and all you do is touch one button, and everything would all open up, and you had your sewing platform. This would slide off if you wanted to, so you could get underneath there for a free arm. But it was made so that one touch of a button, it would open all up. You have a sewing platform. When you want to close it up to carry it away, you just fold it all up, and they would click together, and you are ready to go. They still make it right now. It is made by Elna, but what is the model? What is the model of this machine? I'll give you a hint. It's the same name as a flower. There we go. So I'll let you do, you're all going to be typing on the computer trying to figure it out. What is the name of this machine? Got to do a little research there and what you're going to be doing. Okay, so that is what we have today. I'm going to wait here a little bit so we can see if some of you come up with an answer quickly. What did you think of the show? Did you like it? Do you want us to do more of these, or do you like to do like us to just skip these, like do this once a month and let you know what's all happening? Again, remember that next week we have the core class that's going to be coming in. Oh, there we got a winner. It is the lotus. And because the lotus flower opens all up like that, and the same way, that's what they named it after. By the way, the Elna lotus is still available. It's been remade and it's been done up very nicely. And so I think I'll wait for my staff to come out here with the name of the first person. And so if you're interested in it, go check out the Elna website, and we can still order them in for you. We don't stock them here right now because everything's hard to get in for everybody. But the Elna Lotus is a great portable travel machine. It now has a thread cutter on it. It has like 40 stitches, 60 stitches maybe. It's got a neat thread storage system. It's only made for the regular size spools, but it's a great little machine. Okay, do we have a winner yet? It is Samantha Walter. Samantha Walter, you are the winner. Let me get back up here. There she did. She got it. So, Samantha, this is going to be yours. And if you have won a prize today, please send us an email with your contact information. We need your name, address, phone number, and so we can get this sent out. Send the address or send the information to j@astitch.biz. If you have not bought a machine here or had a machine repaired here that we can look you up in our database, please send us an email with your contact information so we can get these shipped out to you as soon as possible. Okay, I want to thank you so much for watching. This has been fun, and I hope to see you again soon in the store if we can, but if not, virtually. And I want to wish you a wonderful, blessed day. Thanks.